I got released from the hospital a day earlier than expected. But when I returned home, I found my wife in our bed with someone else. I didn't utter a single word. I cancelled all the cards, changed the locks, and walked away. But then events unfolded in a way no one could predict. Chapter 1. Released. The nurse handed me my discharge papers with a gentle smile. "You're clear to go, Mr. Hayes. The doctor cleared you a bit early. Your recovery has been faster than expected." I offered a faint nod and weak smile. My chest still throbbed from the surgery. 3 nights in a hospital room, attached to machines, and not one visit from Claire. She'd texted once, saying hospitals made her anxious. Taxi ride home was quiet. My mind wandered between the sharp smell of antiseptic, the feel of my own mattress, the thought of Claire's cooking, and the peaceful quiet we'd share, just the two of us again. But when I reached the house, something felt wrong. Claire's car was parked crooked across the driveway. Not like her. I paid the fare, grabbed my overnight bag, and stepped inside silently. The house was dark, except for a faint glow upstairs. I didn't call out. Something in my gut warned me not to. The wooden stairs creaked beneath my feet. The bedroom door was slightly open. Pushed it gently. There they were. Claire and a man I'd never seen, tangled together in our bed. On the nightstand, our wedding photo leaned like a silent witness to the betrayal. I froze for 10 seconds. They didn't notice. No yelling, no drama, no tears. Just silence. I stepped back quietly, left the room, got into the waiting cab, and said one word. "Drive." Chapter 2. Lockdown. The driver gave me a confused look in the mirror. "You sure? You just got home, man." I didn't reply. My jaw tightened. I stared out the window, mind spinning. Claire, our bed, the stranger. The laughter of memories, her warm embrace. "Just drive," I muttered. We didn't head to the airport. Halfway there, I instructed him to go downtown. My lawyer's office. Carl Matthews and I went way back. I used to fix his computers on weekends. He owed me, and now I needed that favor. 30 minutes later, I entered his office in the same hospital-issued hoodie and sweatpants. Carl looked up surprised. "Thought you had another day to recover." I nodded faintly. "Plans changed?" he asked, gesturing me in. I shut the door and calmly explained everything, piece by piece, like a puzzle snapping together. Carl leaned back, hands clasped. "You want a divorce?" "Yes," I said. "But there's more." I pulled a file from my bag. Prepared before the hospital. Everything was in it. Property deeds, account info, powers of attorney. Claire hadn't updated anything. She didn't know I'd transferred the business into a trust months ago. Carl flipped through the file, eyebrows raising. "You already moved everything." "All of it." "All of it," I said. "House, company, savings, gone from her reach." She thought she still had access, but she didn't. Carl blinked. "She has no idea." "Nope. By tonight, accounts blocked, cards frozen, and she'd need a new place to stay." Carl whistled low. "You're going to war." "Understood." "No. I've already won." Chapter 3. Locks. The locks clicked before the sun disappeared behind the skyline. The home that held years of memories became a fortress. The locksmith arrived quickly, and every lock was changed. Garage access reset. Security code wiped. I even flagged her with the alarm company as unauthorized. I knew she'd try to return after the fling ended, but I wasn't waiting. Next stop, the bank. The teller blinked as I handed over my ID. Claire had been draining our joint account, but today she hadn't checked the balance. I transferred the last $23,000 to a private account only I knew about, then froze any transactions tied to her name. "Unauthorized access," I said. The manager barely raised an eyebrow. "You're not the first," she sighed. "But you're one of the few who acted fast." Then came the SUV Claire always flaunted. Not in her name. That afternoon, one phone call, one signature, and it was returned under our buyback clause. When Claire and her lover eventually came back, probably ready for another night in our bed, they found nothing. It didn't work. Car gone. Credit cards declined. I watched from across the street, beside Carl's SUV. He handed me a coffee as we waited. Claire banged on the door, her voice rising. Tom. Tom opened the door. This isn't funny. Her lover tried to act tough. Yo man, open up. We're not here to fight. I sipped my coffee slowly, then looked at Carl. Let's go. Driving away, I glanced back one last time. Claire sat on the porch, sobbing. Her lover paced, phone in hand, realizing he had nowhere to go either. Not a shred of sympathy. This was just the beginning. Chapter 4. The unraveling begins. The morning after lockdown, I sat on a quiet hotel patio, sipping coffee, watching early commuters shuffle by, headphones in, to-go cups in hand. Peaceful, detached. My phone buzzed. 10 missed calls from Claire. 5 more from an unknown number. I knew who that was. 1 voicemail. I didn't listen. Instead, I opened the legal portal. Everything ready. Divorce papers filed. Restraining order in progress, supported by video footage from the house security system. Yes, I'd watched it. She didn't even close the blinds. The judge would see it all. Next came the civil case. Claire had been quietly siphoning money from our joint savings, including funds from my military disability benefits. Federal law protects that money. Claire was told she had 2 options: return the stolen funds or face criminal charges. I didn't care who paid. What made it even sweeter? Her lover's name, Matt, appeared on several transactions. She had directly sent money to his Venmo. Amateur mistake. I also reached out to the university. Claire worked part-time in the administration office at a local college, and Matt was a tenured professor. 1 email to the Title IX office, complete with evidence of their campus affair, triggered a formal investigation. Apparently, they'd used work hours and campus resources for their secret rendezvous. Later that afternoon, I received a reply. Thank you for your submission. This matter has been escalated to the Office of Academic Integrity and HR. It was like tipping over the first domino. By lunchtime, Claire messaged again. Please, can we talk? We never meant to hurt you. I nearly laughed. They didn't mean to hurt me. Course they did. They just didn't expect me to retaliate. They assumed I'd crumble silently. Instead, I responded with calculated calm, precision, and a level of payback only a man trained in strategic operations could execute. And best of all, they hadn't realized yet who legally owned the house or who was about to see her family, with the papers in hand. Chapter 5. The family confrontation. Claire's family had never truly welcomed me. To them, I was just a placeholder until she found someone better. Her mother, Cynthia, once said at Thanksgiving, "You're not exactly who we prayed Claire would end up with, but at least you handle the bills." Words I never forgot. That Sunday afternoon, I pulled into their suburban driveway, unsure how it would play out. I wore a calm smile and carried a slim folder. Claire opened the door. Her eyes widened. "What are you doing here?" "I have something for your parents," I replied evenly. Before she could intervene, Cynthia stepped forward, wearing that same smug expression. "Oh," she muttered. "The ghost shows up." I ignored it. "May I come in?" Claire hesitated, but Cynthia shrugged. "It's fine. Let him speak." We entered the living room where her father, Gerald, sat in his recliner, flipping through a golf magazine. 5 minutes, Claire said coldly. "Won't need more," I replied. I opened the folder and presented 3 documents. A detailed report showing $38,000 Claire had taken from our joint savings without my consent. Screenshots, timestamps, and the Venmo transfer to Matt. A printed email from the college confirming an active investigation into Claire and Professor Matthew Hale for ethics violations. The new deed to the house. Claire hadn't noticed I had discreetly sold the house weeks prior to everything exploding. The buyer, my cousin Derek, leased it back to me temporarily. Legally, every moment she stayed after I changed the locks, she was trespassing. Cynthia's face twisted. "You're bluffing." I handed the documents to Gerald. "Feel free to confirm with the county registrar." He flipped through the papers, stunned. Claire shook. You'll be hearing from my lawyer again. I'm seeking restitution, and if necessary, I'll see you in court. Misappropriating VA-protected funds is a federal crime. Claire's voice cracked. Why are you doing this after 12 years? I said softly. I made you my world. I came home from the hospital to find you in bed with another man. You mocked me. Laughed at me. You cheered on Cynthia. I'm simply following the law now. Then I handed her one final document. The cancellation notice for the mortgage assistance I had quietly been paying on their house for months. I planned to surprise you with the last payment in December, I added with a shrug. Consider this an early farewell gift. I left, hearing Claire shout, Cynthia cry, and Gerald roar. For me, revenge wasn't loud. It was silent, methodical. And this was only the opening move. Chapter 6. The Unraveling. In the following weeks, Claire's silence said it all. No more snide messages, no sarcastic emails. Nothing. Piece by piece, her carefully arranged life crumbled. First came the eviction notice. She ignored it, thinking I was bluffing. When deputies served it in person, she broke down on the porch in front of the neighbors. Matt, her so-called upgrade, was a me. His university job was suspended pending the ethics investigation. When screenshots of their messages, some from university email, surfaced, he didn't just lose his job. His tenure was revoked, his pension gone. The school issued a public apology. His wife had no clue until she received an anonymous envelope containing beachside selfies of him and Claire with captions like, "He makes me feel alive again." She filed for divorce immediately. Claire tried to reconnect with her family. Gerald wouldn't answer her calls. Cynthia was too embarrassed to be seen publicly. They fell 3 months behind on the mortgage, creditors constantly calling. Claire ended up working retail at a home goods store, the very type of place she once mocked on Instagram. The cherry on top, she played the victim online, long-winded posts about betrayal, emotional scars, and unfair life. Too bad I had receipts. One day, I made a burner account and commented on a post. Didn't you ridicule your disabled husband for being hospitalized while you were in bed with your lover? Just wondering if that's part of your next post. Dozens of likes, shares, comments poured in. Her social circle vanished overnight. That night she messaged me. Why are you doing this? Can't we talk? I replied in my head. I talked for 12 years. You never listened. Then I blocked her. That was the last I ever heard from Claire. Epilogue. 1 year later, I'm in a better place, both physically and emotionally. I bought a small lakeside cabin near the VA hospital. I fish in the mornings, volunteer with other veterans, and started a non-profit supporting military families with housing and legal aid, funded in part by the court-mandated payments Claire must make. Each month, $523.19 lands in the non-profit account. Claire's restitution. People ask if I miss her. You don't. I missed the version of her I believed in. Was this revenge? Well, it was resolution. Was it justified? Let me know in the comments. If you think she got what she deserved, hit like, share this with someone who needs a story of strength, and subscribe to Lauren's Story for more unbelievable tales of betrayal and justice. Here, every lie has an echo, and every betrayal meets its reckoning. Stay sharp. Stay strong.